What is going on, y'all? Thank y'all so much for joining me. This is Ending the Stigma. My name is Chris Hennessy. The show's all about really just having conversations with people that have a past, whether it's addiction or human trafficking or prison or all of the above. Just hoping to uh, make people realize that we do recover. There shouldn't be a stigma attached to people that were in addiction or been to prison or any of those kind of things. So, and it's been awesome, man. This is the fifth season. I've been doing this a while now, and I've had some really awesome conversations. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And my guest tonight, if you're here, please drop a comment so I know you're here. I don't know you're here unless you drop one. So drop in and say hi, say something crazy, whatever. It doesn't matter. So my guest tonight, I met in Memphis, and that's been the majority of my guests over the past 6 months, probably 8 months. Have been from Memphis, and it's a husband and wife couple. And I love, hey, Jason. So I'm going to tell my guests right now, I'll scroll out on the comments. So, yeah, man, it's been a while. Took a little time off. Um, Got to do that sometimes. Anyway, you can tell I hadn't done it in a while because can't string two words together to make a sentence. Anyway, met them in Memphis. It's a husband and wife couple. I love sitting down with husbands and wives. Hey, David Cause, I see you. Especially when both of them have a past, and to hear one story and the other story, and then how God brought them together and how good they're doing now. Like, to me, that's a really powerful thing, and I absolutely love it. So my guests tonight are Jason and Maria Uselton. Like I said, they both have a past. Jason's a combat vet, and they have been working with We Fight Monsters in Flanders and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, before I just keep rambling anymore, I'm going to bring out Jason and Maria. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hi.
what's up?
Not much. Thank y'all for being here.
Yes, sir. It's a privilege.
Yeah. Let me say hi to some folks that are dropping in real quick. Hey, Deanna. Melissa Houston. Hadn't seen you in a while. Good to see you. There's David Cause. All right. So cool. Introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about you. Maria, you want to go first?
Hey, I'm Maria. A little bit about me. I'm actually from Texas, where you're from,
Oh,
Chris.
that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. 30
But
minutes up the road.
yep, yeah. I've got two amazing kids. I have an amazing husband, and I work with a nonprofit called We Fight Monsters. And I got a little bit of a story too.
Awesome. Awesome. David, or I was looking at David Corn's comment. Jason.
Well, I'm Jason. I'm a Leo. I like long walks on the beach. No,
Oh my God. Here we go.
I'm from
Who
Brandon.
invited this guy?
Yeah, riff. I'm actually right down the road. I'm from right down the road, Brownsville, Tennessee, and she grew up there too. And
Okay.
I needed to get out of a small town, so I joined the army and saw the world and saw bad parts of the world and good parts of the world, and
Yeah.
you know, and now I'm back.
Now you're back. Right on. So y'all just what do y'all start? Whichever one of you wants to start and kind of tell us a little bit of your story, like how you got into addiction. And I know you said, Jason, that's kind of what you wanted to touch on was mainly that part, but give a little bit of your backstory in the military, just a little bit if you want to. If you don't, it's no big deal. And then kind of move into the addiction, and then we'll let kind of Maria pop in whenever she wants to, or however y'all want to do it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I graduated high school in '94, slummed around, did stuff, got in trouble, and joined the army and loved it. Absolutely loved it. Thrived in that whole just atmosphere. I guess
Mm-hmm.
somebody was telling me what to do all the time, but you uh, made corporal pretty quick. Got E5, went to combat. Uh, First deployment really it hangs with me a lot, and quick promotion to heal the hero. They're helping me, and that's somebody you need to have on here too someday. But
Okay.
the military really didn't mind you having PTSD and then sending you back and then bringing you home and sending you back and bringing you home and sending you back. Got hurt, spent some time laid up, and that is,
He kind of got majorly hurt.
yeah, well,
It's kind of a big deal.
I spent a lot of time. I had 12, 13 surgeries, some skin grafts, and the pain was just, it was immense. I mean, it's hard to even describe. But they were giving me pain pills. You know, when you're injured in combat, all the nurses, let's make him feel better. And Oxycontin taken off then, and it was a wonder drug. And man, me being the guy that was just in the Army doing his job, I didn't really drink beer much or anything. Yeah, it was like that little addict switch clicked in my head one day when a guy laying next to me said, "Hey, cheek a pill, that way you can take 2 of them." And I was like, "What? What are you doing?" And he told me, and I did it, and it was like, wow. And then it really took off as, well, if 2 makes me feel this way, I wonder what 3's. And it went on like that for several years, and I ended up getting medically retired because I couldn't do the job that I had, and I didn't want to be a recruiter or something like that. So I got out, and they were paying me retirement and everything. It was just me because I went through a pretty nasty divorce, and then pills just wasn't good enough, and heroin came into play, and that I ended up homeless once, slept in an abandoned house, couch surfed everywhere because, well, the people I was staying with needed heroin, and I had a bunch of it. So, kind of tried it out.
Yeah.
And
I'll stop there so she can talk for a minute.
Well, I started, alcohol's my poison through and through. I tinkered with drugs when I was younger, but everybody has their poison, and I'm an alcoholic. I started drinking when I was 15. I didn't know when, but I was drinking to change the way I feel. That's what we do.
Yep.
That was one of those kids with trauma. And I got married, and he was an alcoholic too. And I have a son with him. And then that failed. So I got married again, and he was an alcoholic. I have a daughter with him. Both of them have passed away because of their addiction. And after 2 marriages, I got in a relationship that, because I was a bartender and I liked to drink too. It never really went away, but I like to think that I was a functional alcoholic. But when that relationship came into my life, that was kind of the catalyst for what made me fall over the edge. And, after 2 attempts at suicide, and then them passing away, I wound up received. It's called the gift of desperation, and the gift of desperation is when you'll do anything, just help me not live like this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my story in a nutshell. Until well, okay. So I went to detox, and then went to rehab, and then I did a program in Knoxville. And we have some best friends in common. And I was supposed to go on a trip with Brandy and Bronson and you.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to Gatlinburg, but
That was when my second husband passed away.
Mm.
And I'd been trying to get a hold of him for a month. He had my daughter, and I hadn't talked to her. And then I found out that he had passed away a week prior. My lawyer found out that information for me. So I had to come back to Memphis, and I didn't get to go on the trip. But that's when he texted me, and he was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And even though we'd seen each other and drank together and had friends that were the same crowd, we never really.
now we kind of just followed each other. We were around.
Yeah.
I helped her move once.
I mean, my daughter
Yeah.
didn't like anybody, but she came to you with open arms. Had no idea that one day.
That was the test route.
Yeah, but it started with a text, and I don't even like texting.
No, everybody told me if she's not going to answer you, it may take her a day or two.
Hi, Casey.
And
Drop in.
it was really. I'm sober now. She's sober now. She's going through something. Let's just talk whatever.
Yeah, we have something happen. We don't have anybody to talk to. I didn't really know anyone else in sobriety other than the sobriety community in Knoxville, and I wasn't planning on staying there, but I kind of just didn't know how to get home yet.
Yeah.
Didn't even really know where home was.
Yeah.
And I would hang out with my buddy David Howe. He's actually the one that introduced me to Ben and Jess. And he passed away from the flu. So, you mentioning We Fight Monsters and Gangland Express, that it hits on another level because David's gone now, and
before he passed away, he connected you with them.
Yeah.
And shortly after we made connections with We Fight Monsters, that's when it happened. And it was really sad, but at the same time, it was like, okay, well,
at least he died sober.
Absolutely. And okay, well, maybe he introduced us to these people, Ben and Jessica Owen, for a reason. Let's make them proud.
Yeah. And we go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so like, how did it? Y'all were both in recovery, and I may have missed it because I was looking at comments. I think I did because you said y'all were talking about how y'all were both in recovery, so let's just hang out. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she
okay.
was.
I was fixing to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Details.
We were 2 hours away.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to talk about anything you don't want to talk about.
No. I mean, I lived 2 hours away, and I didn't even have a car yet. I just gotten out of.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was after I got to Iuka.
Yeah.
When Michael passed away, my second husband, I had to get to Memphis so that I could release his body to his mother, and I wanted to see my daughter. And that's when the beginning of the legal fight started, because he died while he was living with his mother. And since he died while living with his mother, and she was the one that was in possession of her at the time, she filed for custody, and we've been fighting that battle ever since. But my first husband's mom, my son's grandmother, she's an amazing woman.
Yeah.
She, in my absence, would bring, because she lived in Pickwick, Iuka, Mississippi, Counts, Tennessee area. She would bring Julian to Memphis so that he could see his sister, because even in my absence, she was trying to keep them together, keep them connected. And all of this started, she came to Knoxville. We loaded up her car the best we could, and she brought me to Pickwick. And that's all I wanted was to come home. I just didn't even know where home was. But when I walked in that door, because she had my son, and I for the first time felt safe that she was like, you're gonna come live with us, because she wanted to help me get our daughter back, Lena.
Yeah.
And that's where all of this kind of began too, because you were living in Oakland with Brandy and Bronson.
Yeah, and I needed something else to do because I just felt that urge, something's going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to mess up. And
Mhm.
me and her talked about it, and I was like, well, I'll move down there. I don't know anybody. I'll start over, but we're not going to hang out every day.
We're not going to hang out every day if you come down here. I mean, because I don't like. I like being alone. I don't like talking on the phone much,
Yeah.
and
I
I
don't
don't need
either.
to be around someone every day. So if you come down here, we're not going to see each other every day.
No, I thought marriage was the last form of legal slavery. She had been through two. I'd been through two. It was just.
But yet we talked on the phone like all the time. We video chatted. Gammy, she was friends with you at that point.
It was like, you remember in high school when you would sit and talk with a girl for like 2 or 3
Yeah.
hours? Right? It was like
Yeah.
that. And then
We courted each other, I guess.
yeah, it's like I fell in love with her before I ever got to like.
Yeah. The first time we
Yeah.
got to hang out after that, you like put your hand on me and you're like, oh, you're real.
Yeah.
You're here.
That's crazy how the right person will make you do that.
Yeah. We're not going to hang out every day. I'm not monogamous. I'm never getting married again.
Never.
It's going to be a while before you get to hang around Lena.
Yeah. She was like, I don't want
Yeah.
you to meet the kids right now or anything like that. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then, and speaking to kids, I was telling her about my twins, Aiden and Delaney. And then for all intents and purposes, he's my son, but he's my, by law, he's my ex stepson, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
And on Father's Day of last year, for the first time in 13 years, Aiden called me. And
one of his twins.
I was in love with a stranger, man. I didn't know him, but
Yeah.
I had people would send me pictures, and of course, I'm going to troll them if I could find them online.
Right. Right.
And
watched them grow up through pictures.
Yeah.
At my lowest, I was locked up when my mom passed away, and I couldn't go, and that's a hell of a bottom to have.
I bet.
And Aiden and Matthew, and then Matthew's wife Faith, and their daughter London, who's now she's my grand ginger because she has red hair. But
we're grandparents now. That
What?
was his stepson through his first wife, but
Okay.
he helped raise him. That's his son. So we don't use stepson. We don't use ex.
no.
No, I agree. Always, whenever I was with Jennifer and she had kids, they were going to be my bonus kids. Like I wasn't never going to say step kids at all. So I get that.
Yeah, and I mean, you're Lena's dad. She knows that her father who passed away, that's her papa, but this is her dad.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you hit rock bottom, Jason? Like what was that? When did you get that gift of desperation where you were just fed up?
Let's see, right before my birthday in August of 2018, I overdosed twice in a week. And I looked at the paramedic brought me back and everything. I'm laying there and, on the gurney going in the ambulance. And I was like, why'd you bring me back? I'm going to AMA out of the hospital. I'm going to call a drug dealer and I'm going to go back out there. And he said, well, you're just not going to die today. And I was doing a lot. I was knowingly doing fentanyl because I was getting my pills from the VA, of course. And I'm about to, could get in trouble for something, but I was getting pills and not using them. But, whatever you want to call it, trading, bartering. And
you weren't doing the right things.
yeah. And September 14th of 18, God set me down. And I got caught with a lot of drugs and some money and stuff. And thank God the DA was like, he never got in trouble until this day right here. And up until then, he had been this good citizen in the military and everything. So they kind of weighed options and was like, you need help. You don't need jail.
Chance.
But you have to do some jail. I was like, okay, well, whatever. But I detoxed the hard way, locked up. And that is worst. Yeah.
They didn't put you in, they didn't let you go to detox?
No, they had a nurse. I was in the medical ward. They had nurses on me and everything, but throwing
no
up
medication though.
Yeah, they kept an eye on me. But,
man, that's rough.
And then I worked my way out. I was doing good. My therapist because I was in Murfreesboro, I was in Rutherford County Jail. So my therapist from that hospital was coming up there seeing me, and I was still kind of working through. We basically started doing AA together, and then they had AA meetings. I started going to that, and then I kind of realized I was there for a reason. And we started trying to work a program where all the veterans in the jail would get moved around and, have a class to go to and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
is this in Shelby County?
No, it's in Rutherford County in Murfreesboro.
Rutherford County. Oh, Murfreesboro. Yeah, you said that. My bad.
And then one of the guards came up and said, "Hey, you got a phone call." And they don't come get you out of your cell if it's somebody's birthday or something. And I got on the phone. It was my brother. He said, "I need to tell you something. Mom went to the doctor. She had 15 tumors in her chest. She don't want to do it. She don't want to fight it. She's ready to go. She's lonely." And I talked to her 3 days in a row. And she said, you're better than this. And don't promise me that you're going to get sober because you'll break that promise. But just try to be better tomorrow than you are today.
Yeah.
And I've tried to do that. And
I'd say you're doing a pretty damn good job.
That was he
Thanks.
had lost his mother, and my son's grandmother, my first husband's mom. Like, me and her stayed really close, and she was the one that brought me to Pickwick. But she, with her losing her son and him losing his mother, like, the two of them built this like really like special, strong relationship. And we have such a really blended family.
Oh yeah. She told me not to say we have a very Jerry Springer style family, but yeah, we're
it's only Jerry Springer if you include a couple
all the extras.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandy's on.
Yeah. Yeah. I had her, she had some other comments up too. This was her first one.
Yes.
And then that one. Not that one. That one.
Yeah, you Brandy and Bronson, when I got out, I was homeless, and Bronson picked me up. He said, "You're starting over at my house." And man, I can't. Him, Mark Cooper, a guy I served with, David Scott and his family. It's amazing the people that don't give up on you.
Yeah.
And now I can be that brother to them, or that they were to me.
They have their friend back. That's what they've told.
Yes.
I have Jason back.
Yeah.
I posted a meme, something about that, kind of similar a day or two ago. It said, "I sure would like to see you get sober. It'd be cool to see the real you again," or something like that.
Yeah.
For the first time, I really feel like who I am again, or maybe for the first time. Right before I came back, I was just like, I need something to move my soul. And,
Mhm.
I'd always, in past relationships, and yeah, I always had to like put part of me away in a box and like not be certain ways. And then, like, I'm sober and we've built this awesome life together.
Yeah.
And I can be absolutely who I am every single day. And I feel
Yeah.
more like Maria, I think, than I really ever have.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Uh,
It's amazing.
it's a blessing that I'm totally not worth it. Totally not worth it. And then, get to have an Easter weekend and both twins are there, granddaughter's there, daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
So, and I'm just standing there going, all I had to do was get out of my own damn way.
Mhm.
Because the drugs and alcohol to me, and I may be wrong, but this is just my inner feeling. I was the problem. I wasn't comfortable being me. And that
Yeah.
was my medicine. That made me not look at the scars and the memories. And, nobody plays depressed. I played happy for a long time though.
That's a
Right.
mistake a
Nobody
lot of
plays
people
depressed.
make and nobody pretends to be depressed, but people pretend to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. When I got out of prison, I was in group therapy for a while, um, and the therapist would always say, "The drugs are not the problem, but it's how the problem presented itself."
Yeah.
That's
It's
how I
something.
changed the way I felt. It's how
Yeah.
I like minimized my problems, like made them less important, so I didn't have to pay attention to them.
Yeah, for real. And like after my brother died, I mean, I drank a little bit after I got off parole in 23, but not, it wasn't any big deal. Like I wasn't just getting crap faced every night. But after my brother died, I started drinking really, really, really heavily. Um, for a while, up until probably January or February,
Really.
because I was just using it to mask, and then to cover it up, and I'd never experienced this before. I'd never experienced my body becoming dependent on it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so, you wake up the next morning and by lunch you have the shakes and the dry heaves, and it's just like,
can't walk straight until
until
you get the first beer.
yeah, exactly. Can't do it. And I'd drive to the liquor store and get a bottle, and I'd have to drink a third of it just to even
Oh yeah.
back out. And I've never experienced that. And so I have a little bit, I've never been dope sick. I never was an opioid user. I was a meth user. And when I came down off of meth, I just slept for a few days and ate some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that was it. I never had any withdrawals.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine if it's worse on opioids, which I'm 100% sure it is, than it is on alcohol. I can't even imagine. Like I can't even.
1 star, I do not recommend. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
Do it your favorite adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I've heard. Oh man.
But
Um,
I'm just, it's amazing what happens when you just tell God you're done and he says, good, I'll take it from here.
God's plan
Yeah.
works best if you go with it.
every time.
And then meeting
Every
Ben and
single
Jess,
time.
man, that's just, they're the definition of everybody has a story. They've been through something, but don't judge them on the chapter that you walk in on,
Right.
just
Right. Because if you walked in on them now or walked in on y'all now, you'd never guess about the
Yeah.
past.
Oh, people, I've had somebody, and
You
they
don't
were,
look like you would be an alcoholic. You don't look like.
Yeah.
why do you help those people? Well, I am
Mhm.
those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For
I never
sure.
thought on the other side, though. I never thought on the other side that this would be us today. And I mean, we rebuilt this life like super speed in 5 years. Most people don't get this far in like 5 years, but I mean, we just keep
Yeah.
doing the next right thing, and God has blessed us. It's blessed us with joy of being
Yeah.
happy with life on life's terms.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think that I would ever be able to appreciate things the way that I do now if I had not been on the other side. If I had not experienced the gift of desperation. It makes things that people take for granted, just so much more amazing. And so, no, our life's not perfect. It's not. We have a great life. It's not
Never,
perfect.
never will be.
It
No,
Never
doesn't
will
come
be.
without pain. It doesn't come without struggle, but we're happy. We choose to be happy with life on life's terms because we know what it could look like and what it did look like. Never forget where we came from.
Right. And that joy you talked about, the Bible says that the joy of the Lord is our strength. Like that's it right there.
yeah. And Matthew asked me on Christmas because I had my first Christmas with them. We went to Nashville, and
That was great.
I was just really quiet. Are you okay? You okay? You okay? And I was like, I was almost in disbelief that I got back to that point, and that, because time and God are the only things that heal anything. And they accepted me, they accepted Maria and Lena, and it just, how do you explain it?
Aiden
But
got
God,
to wake up on Christmas morning with her dad for the first time in 13 years.
Yeah.
mm,
It
In
just,
matching PJs, by the way.
it
heck
felt
yeah,
just amazing to
Yeah.
have
it's
that
beautiful.
experience with you guys. Like, I never thought that I would have a tribe, a family this big. Like, I feel honored to have your girls, your son in my life, and to take them, and
Yeah.
they're mine too. Like,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Or,
And
or,
mine are his.
and I've lived in so many other people's houses for so long. And, we bought a house last month, and the first person that spent the night was Aiden. And I was like,
Yeah.
I
I remember
don't have
staying
the
in
instruction books on how to do this anymore. I'm going to have to wing it.
yeah,
living in an
yeah.
extended stay, living with a stranger just to get by another day. And when I was a kid, I grew up in poverty. I used to look at these little magazines that you get when you like go in and out of the grocery store, and
Hmm.
I'd see these like pretty houses, and I
She wanted a house with vinyl siding.
our house it was like all decrepit looking with like peeling paint that was once upon a time white. So we like lived in the hood. So I'd see these houses and be like, I wonder if I'll ever get to live in a house that's not like this. And then like you bought me this beautiful house on Valentine's Day. You're like, hey, we got approved. We're getting a house. And I was like,
Nice.
oh my gosh.
I guess I'll have to buy her an airplane next year to kind of.
Bought a house with a built-in room for your dog,
I
Yes,
know.
yes.
And
Old
he got a man
Frank.
cave.
Yeah, got a
He's
man
got a man
cave.
cave.
and you
I've
got a
got an
man cave.
office, and our dog has his own room. Wow! And then my daughter has a playroom,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
it's just such an honor to have such a big family now. Going from just about everybody's given up on you to just having this much love in our lives.
Yeah, and then
It feels good to love.
all the, and you know who I'm talking about. Everybody that's involved with We Fight Monsters or Gangland Express or Flanders Field. God's the only way that a bunch of addicts, crackheads, and drunks can be doing the work that's done out there.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that decrepit nursing home, and the city goes, you know what? It's a great idea to give it to y'all. Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't question. Just run with it.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's
And
always
Ben, man,
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ben and Jess are just they are on go 24 hours a day.
24/7, man. Like it's.
And then you got the ninja in the background. Robert's back there like this, doing his part.
And it's so crazy
Yeah.
to me that he is so involved and has such compassion and empathy and all the things when he's never been an addict, not a day in his life.
His heart is so big.
Yeah, he's got the biggest heart.
I asked him that too.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you punishing yourself? What's wrong?"
I came down from the Hood Mart once. The Hood Mart is our it's a store that you don't pay for anything at. For anyone who's in a situation where you need help urgently, starting over, there's a little bit of everything, and it's all free. You just have to listen to us talk or let us try to help you in whatever situation you're in. And I remember coming down being like, this is fun. I like this. It feels good, because I remember when all I had was donations when I started off in recovery. That's it. That's all I had. I had a duffel bag with clothes that didn't fit me and some donations. And
Somebody else,
it feels good. I'm happy. And Robert's like sitting there smiling.
Face on here. That's my daughter-in-law. Hey, Faith.
Is it really? I love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
She is the one that pretty much got this whole process of gaining our family back. Like,
she was the breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I call it they broke Amish with Faith.
When Matthew married Faith, he did pretty good. She's pretty awesome.
Because you got this clean cut looking guy. Well, he's got a beard now, and then you got this gothic girl over here. And you're like,
but she's the sweetest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I just love her.
Yeah.
And she's the one that was like, okay, Aiden, let's contact your dad. I'll start this.
Who is also 9 years in recovery, maybe 10 now, 9 or 10. But yes.
Faith is or Aiden is?
Faith.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, she just let's see. Oh wow, she's paying more attention to us than she is WWE. That means a lot.
Thank you for multitasking for us, Faith.
I love it.
Yeah, Faith, when her and Matthew got together, she shared this story, but she was about to snort a pill, and Matthew's like, that's how I lost my dad right there. And here we are now, all back together.
10 years.
10 years.
Congrats, sis. That's awesome. I love it. So there's a verse in the Bible, and I don't remember where it's found, but it says, I will restore unto you the years the locusts have eaten. So I will restore unto you the things that have been taken away and the enemy has eaten up and all that stuff. I will restore it to you. And I have seen that time and time again for people that come back or that have had things taken away.
Wow.
There's an abundance. We live with an abundance of joy and just, just being grateful.
Yeah.
There's
gratitude.
Yeah.
There's times that I wonder when I'm going to wake up or when I'm going to mess up. Not, when am I going to say the wrong thing or when am I going to,
how did I get here?
Yeah. Yeah. How do I keep topping myself? And I'm the only person I compete with is me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember what my mom said, be better tomorrow, be better tomorrow.
Just be a little bit better today than yesterday. I remember when I couldn't imagine a day without alcohol.
Yeah.
I remember laying in bed staring at the ceiling like I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I kept slipping, I kept slipping, I kept slipping. And then when I finally reached that last breaking point, I missed my daughter's birthday and I got kicked out of Caesar hotels forever.
Oh,
And
wow.
Yes, she can't go to those casinos.
yeah, the Caesar casinos, I got banned indefinitely. So that night was the night that I was like, I, I, I don't, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep messing up over and over again. What am I doing? It just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
Didn't even recognize myself in the mirror anymore. I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine. I couldn't even imagine it, the idea of getting sober. But something had to change.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was give up one thing, and I started getting everything back.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works.
You know, you were talking about the Bible, and I'm not doing this by memory. I pulled it up. But my favorite part of the Bible is when Paul talks to Timothy. It's in First Timothy. And it's basically him saying, if God can use me to do his work, he can use anybody.
Yeah.
You know, he chose me, and I'm the worst of the worst.
Thanks, David.
And it's so true, because there's so many people that I know these days that I'm involved with that are doing God's work, but you know, we're all covered in tattoos and have been in jail, and you know, but we can reach the people that the preacher in the suit can't.
Right.
We have the amazing church in Corinth, and I remember our pastor talking to us and being like, you can talk to the people that I can't talk to.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
And
Big facts.
you can reach people that I can't reach.
Yep.
Yeah, when we moved our last day at Church of the Crossroads in Corinth, he said, go be a vessel. And it took me a minute to figure that out.
He said, go be a satellite.
Yeah.
And like a satellite, because they worked with in several different counties, and also helped with several different organizations like
yeah, they had a rehab that was across the street that they helped fund.
Yeah.
And
read that comment.
And that one's for real. Huh?
Read that comment and interrupt all you want. We love it when people comment, Faith.
Oh, hey, London.
I love it.
Thank you. I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but I'm probably going to.
And I just love
No, you're good.
He loves us so much.
Yeah, I love it, dude. There ain't no shame in it.
Hey, now I'm going to cry.
And for everybody that's listening, may watch it, whatever, if people like us can change, anybody can. Anybody can.
And it doesn't happen overnight. Just because someone, someone who's in recovery, someone who's trying to be clean and struggling, and they look at us like, well, you guys, you got lucky. You like your lives. You got lucky to like your life today, to have a good life. And it's not that. We just kept pushing, and we were grateful for whatever we had, wherever we were at. Our first house was falling apart.
We literally paid rent to this guy so we could work on it in the daytime and then go sleep at Barbara's house.
We covered the floor until we could fix the floor. We were so happy to have this house that was falling apart. We were so happy. We were just happy with whatever we had, wherever we were at.
Yeah, when we got married, it was a guy that had just got done changing oil. Justice of the peace. We were standing outside this little courthouse in Glenn, Mississippi. I called him. I was like, hey, I want to get married. Come on. You know, he's got a grease trap.
Just
He's
got
"All
off
right,
work.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's,
But you know, some people, you know, in the midst of struggling, you know, have a hard time accepting life on life's terms. But like you always say, you know, God will move a mountain if you pick up the shovel.
yeah.
Just keep doing one day at a time, one step at a time, one meal at a time, 1 minute at a time. Just keep going.
Okay, come here.
All right.
All right, y'all get to meet Frank.
Ah, here's Frank, the lop-eared monster.
This is our child.
His
name is Frankenstein Uselton.
He's been trying the whole time to get up here in my lap. So
yes, he's a king shepherd. Like a,
and if you need your
King
dog
shepherd.
trained, send them to Devil Dog K9.
mm-hmm.
No kidding, man. They are awesome, and they're fixing to open up a Soulsville chapter, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
I love those people, man.
They're awesome.
I had Michael Parker was actually my last guest a month or so ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that one while I was at work. And when we get in here, I got to go to work. But my employer was gracious enough to let me do this. And
yeah, well, tell him I said we appreciate it.
I will.
Just thank you for having us today. You know, it's hard to know where to start sometimes, but I mean, we do have a story, and you know,
and I'll tell anybody.
Yeah.
I never get tired.
If I can do it, somebody else can do it. If you can do it, I mean.
Because at the end of the day, it's about God. It ain't about me. It ain't about her. It ain't about you.
No.
It's what he does. Because he'll use anybody to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, wherever he wants. All you got to do is listen. Shut up and listen.
God doesn't call on the qualified. God qualifies the ones that he calls on.
Come on.
We're going to have church in here.
Yeah.
I mean, well, all we need is a keyboard in the background.
Feel strongly.
Yeah. Anything else before we get out of here that y'all want to say, or?
You know, I want to thank Robert and Ben again for letting me. They trusted me to do a bunch of artwork for them for some shirts and stuff. And these right here that you can get on their website. Go to onceamerican.org.
That's kind of where it started.
onceamericans.com.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Go get some stuff. It helps us do stuff.
I'm just thankful to the people who didn't abandon me, that, you know, stuck with me, that, and I'm going to say us, you know, the ones that gave us a chance when we didn't deserve it, you know.
Or the second chance, or the third chance. Or
where we're at because of people that loved us. And there was so much help involved. And, you know, if you were a part of that team, then you know who you are. We're just so thankful.
My best friend in the world's a cop, and I was doing all this stuff. And he got suspended once for bonding me out of jail while he was in uniform.
He's like, let's go fishing.
Thank you, David.
Yeah. You know, it's Robert's fault y'all are on here. He asked me on 2 different trips up there. The first one, he said, have you ever thought about getting Jason and Maria on? I said, no, but I mean, I've, you know, wading through everybody in Memphis, you know, it just hadn't crossed my mind. And I'd only met y'all like once. I think it was
and it's
the first time I'd met y'all.
It's some
I already know. And then like 2 trips later or something, he was like, dude, why haven't you got Jason and Maria on yet? And I was like, all right, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
And then you talk to us. And
is that the board that everybody signed right over there?
That's it, man. That is it. Nice. So for everybody watching this, you can get this at ganglandexpress.com. This board is made out of reclaimed wood from a trap house. I don't know which pieces it is. But whenever we were up there, I got one and my sister Kara got one. When we were up there for Thanksgiving, we brought them back and at the Thanksgiving event and had people sign them. And it was so cool because like I'm having people sign it that, I know, but then people from the streets were walking up and they were like, can I sign it? And I was like, hell yeah. So there's people in active addiction that have signed this thing. I have no idea who they are, but so that, I love it. Like and I got it for the sole purpose to do that with, and then display it have it in the background on my podcast.
Aiden, the twin I connected with first, my daughter, she helped serve food that day.
She did.
That was the first
Really?
time she came down to Memphis, and I was like, hey, we're going to do this thing. And she was like, cool, I want to help.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, y'all, we're about at time. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me, man.
you.
I really, really, really appreciate it. I love hearing stories of separate stories of addiction, how God brought you together, and then, like I said at the beginning, and then just seeing how God has just blessed y'all and flourished. And I've had several couples on, and it's some of my favorite conversations to have.
And for the record, I did not say the F word one time.
You didn't.
Not one time.
Not one.
Not one time.
Fuck
I don't even
you.
think you said a cuss word. Had to do it.
Oops. Just once.
Oops. Oh man, that's awesome.
Hey, Chris, thank you, brother.
You're awesome.
Yeah, thank y'all. Love y'all.
Love you.
Next week, I don't have a guest yet, but I will be on next week. So y'all keep an eye out for the event going up. Yeah, and I think that's it. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.